Welcome back, Chasing Minions, to another TheKillerNacho Wi-Fi battle. This battle is against RyuRyuBunny. So that's an interesting name, and I actually decided to let Dustbuster out of the sock drawer once again this time. And looking at his team, we're facing a pretty much full-fledged rain team, and I'm bringing like RyuRyuBunny and Mega Camerupt. So all in all, not a very good time for me as far as the matchup goes. Hopefully some good plays will be able to give me the advantage here. So I'm going to go ahead and lead with that cute little Dustbuster of mine, as he is going to go ahead and lead with the Pelipper. So, yeah, that's kind of obvious. She's just going to go ahead, or he, she, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what his actual gender is, but I don't know. So I'm just going to go ahead and trick, because I figure, you know, if I can get rid of the, you know, the rain item, the damp rock on this thing, that would be great. He's actually going to go for the Tailwind, so that's pretty nice for me, because now it's locked into Tailwind, and I can actually just go for the U-turn, because I know he has to switch, and he goes into Tapu Bulu, so that's a pretty scary Pokemon, especially in the rain, when I can't really hit it with fire moves as effectively, but I'm just going to go for that U-turn anyway, and, yeah, decide to go into Scizor, because, obviously I have the, you know, the Bullet Punch, which should scare this thing away. I don't think he's going to want to stay in here, so I actually decided U-turn, I believe. No, I actually do Bullet Punch. No, I do Bullet Punch here. As she goes into... I'm just go with he. He goes into Dragonite. So, I go for that Bullet Punch. It doesn't do very much due to his multi-scale ability, but he also has the Grassy Seed, so that's going to raise his defense as well, so... I decided just to stay in and go for the Bullet Punch. I don't want to give this guy free setup. It's kind of interesting that he has a Grassy Seed without, like, you know, not on an Unburdened Pokemon. Yeah, he's actually going to switch out, wasting that Grassy Seed boost as he goes out into his Ferrothorn. As I actually switch out into RyuRyuBunny here. And I'm just going to go for a Stealth Rock because I kind of want to get those hazards set up. He has a few Pokemon weak to them, including that Dragonite, as he just goes for a Power Whip in the grassy terrain. Well, because RyuRyuBunny has such an amazing defense that I end up living that, which is pretty amazing. And, yeah, that allows me to do something, and the grass does go away, so at least there's that. I decided just to go for the Thunder Wave. I know he's probably going to stay in, but, you know, I might get, like, the, you know, full paralysis, so, I mean, it was better than nothing. It's my best play, because I kind of wanted to just sack RyuRyuBunny here. So, anyway, in comes my Camerupt. And Mega Camerupt is one of the hardest hitting Pokemon in the game, but it is incredibly, incredibly slow, which is why it is pretty low tier. So I'm just going to go for a Fire Blast against this Ferrothorn. The rain is still up. He ends up going into Dragonite, which obviously has the resistance, and in the rain I'm like, well, I still have my ability Sheer Force and a ton of special attack. In fact, 145 base. So I feel pretty confident against the Ferrothorn, but in comes the Dragonite, which has the resistance, but still I'm able to take it out, which is pretty impressive, all things considered. Mega Camerupt obviously hits really hard, although this rain is going to really hurt it. So in comes this Pelipper again. We already know it's Scarf now, but we only have to deal with the rain for 5 turns, so I'm just going to go to my Azumarill, figuring that I can take whatever if he goes for a Water move. But instead he just goes for a Defog to get rid of my Stealth Rocks, a pretty good play. And then withdraws, obviously, because it's locked into Defog, as she goes right back into Tapu Bulu, gets that Grassy Surge back up, and, yeah, I just decided to go for the knockoff. Ends up knocking the Tapu Bulu's Choice Band off, so now he can change moves, which is good for him, but it's going to do a little bit less damage, which is good for me. So I'm just going to go right back into Scizor, unless I don't think he has anything to hurt me. And indeed, he just goes for the Horn Leech. This will be doing less damage because of the Choice Band being knocked off, and I have that resistance, so it doesn't do very much at all, and I can pretty much scare this guy away with a Bullet Punch. I think this time I go for a U-turn. I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure I do, though. In comes the Vaporeon. Yeah, this battle happened like last week, so it's a little fuzzy, but anyway, U-turn happens. I hit this guy down to yellow HP. In comes my kommo-o now. It's all shiny and stuff, and I believe I decide to pop off the Commonium Z here, which obviously I'm going to have to add my filter because YouTube has been known to block this move. At least it blocked it for me before, so yeah, we're just going to go ahead and do that. Yeah, this is pretty nice. Obviously, I just used this actually in my, you know, my playoffs match, to great effect. So hopefully it'll help me out in this exhibition match as well, as kommo-o is obviously going to be able to take out this Vaporeon, as well get a nifty Rainbow boost, which increases all of its stats. So I'm going to be able to take down the Vaporeon, and that is always good. Yeah, he's going to go out into Pelipper again, because the rain went down, and he wants that sort of thing. However, I have +1 now, so I think I can outspeed this here Pelipper. I decide just to go for the Clanging Scales at +1, hoping to take out Pelipper. And I do, so that's pretty nice. I don't have to deal with the Pelipper coming back in anymore, and obviously bringing the rain with it. So he does have that Swampert, though, as pretty much all rain teams these days will have, because Mega Swampert in the rain is a terrifying force with, obviously, its Swift Swim ability, and just massive, massive attack stats. So I end up outspeeding this thing because it is adamant, apparently, so that's pretty nice. I get the Clanging Scales on it, and I'm hoping to live this here Ice Punch. He goes for it, and I do, with just 12 HP. It shows you the power of Swampert, though, because that is a non-stab move with no additional attack there, and I was able to actually do a lot of damage to a +1 defense Pokemon in my kommo-o. And kommo-o does have a lot of base defense, so that's actually really impressive. But the Clanging Scales is able to do a good amount to that incoming Ferrothorn. I just go for the Flamethrower to finish it off. Doesn't even matter. It's raining. It's going to die. And Tapu Bulu is going to come back in. Like I said, I do have the Flamethrower, as you saw. This is a mixed kommo-o. So, yeah, I'm just going to go for that Flamethrower again. And it is raining, though. And even though I'm at +1, it's not going to be able to take out the Bulu. Bulu is able to take me out here with a Smart Strike. But still, kommo-o did a lot of work here and is able to actually break his Rain Core, which is pretty darn important. So, yeah, in comes my Mega Camerupt again. The rain is down, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. And, yeah, I can just pretty much go for a, Fire Blast. Hope that I hit, of course. He does go for the Horn Leech. It is neutral against me, but that shows you the amazing power of Tapu Bulu. It does more than half. Thankfully, my Fire Blast does connect, being boosted by the... Not adaptability. Why did I say adaptability? No, this is Sheer Force, and it's also almost as good, and it's going to be able to take that guy out. In comes Swampert again. It is going to be able to take out my Mega Camerupt with an Earthquake, because Mega Camerupt is pretty darn slow, but that allows me to get the safe switch now into pretty much anything I want. And I believe I decided to go with, who did I go with? I go with the Azumarill, because the Azumarill can just come in here and hopefully take this guy out with a Liquidation. He does outspeed this thing as well, but Earthquake is not quite strong enough to take out Azumarill. In fact, I can take those for a while, actually, because the grass terrain is up. That actually reduced the power of Earthquake. So there you go. But anyway, thanks for the match there, RyuRyuBunny. What is his name? RyuRyuBunny. Yeah, I was right. But yeah, today's question of the day is going to be, what is the hardest boss you've ever fought in any game? Not just necessarily Pokemon, although some might say Miltank's. Whitney's Miltank is up there. As for me, it's going to be Velius from Final Fantasy Tactics. I guess he was also renamed Belius, with a B or something like that, in the remake, but I just go by the original translation. Even though I know that Word of the Lions translation's really good. But yeah, definitely, if you're not prepared for it, the Velius fight is just a rude awakening in that game. In fact, it's really, truly the final boss, because Act 4 is completely easy in that game. But Velius, though, it takes some preparation to defeat. Probably the hardest boss I've ever played in any video game. So yeah, leave a comment on that, and see you guys again next time. Later.